everybody thinks that their password is the best password, and then they go ahead and use that password for everything because it's uncrackable, right? Well, according to a new study, hackers have gotten so good at cracking short passwords that they can knock out simple ones in literally seconds. Even an 8-character password with a bunch of numbers, uppercase letters, lowercase letters, symbols, everything can be solved within 8 hours by the average hacker. The researchers pushed things to the limit and found that passwords that are 18 characters in length could take up to 438 trillion years for the average hacker to figure out. So when it comes to your passwords, make them big and long.
Wow.
Can I say this? Are you guys like me in that you have no confidence in your own passwords? Like every single time I try to like get into my whatever account, you know, Netflix, Amazon, or email or whatever it is, someone will go, it'll go like, give me your password, and I'll go, okay. And I'll try something and I'll go, that was wrong, and I'll go, I'm sorry. I never go, fuck you, that's my password. Don't give it. I immediately abandon, and then I guess, and then I guess again, and then at some point it locks you out because you've been trying your own password too many times. It's a scourge, this whole
I usually get tired trying to identify which of the pictures has a bike in it.
Oh, when you're doing that one? Yeah.
I don't know, is that a bridge? I don't know, 4 bridges. All right, this one, this one.
Oh, that makes
that
sure.
might be, that's an overpass. I don't think that's a bridge.
Bot.
No, wrong. All right, give me another 7 squares.
You think the password crackers are the same guys who used to do the Rubik's Cube in 90 seconds, like those guys? So how do they do it, Gina? Do you think they just, do they have information? Like, do they know your, you know, you go your pet's name, you go with your mom's maiden name, you do your team?
It's generally done by algorithm. So they can comb everything in your life. And yeah, if you have a lot of pictures of you, say, oh, I don't know, a dog, a big black lab named Phil, or maybe it's referenced on the radio or the podcast. Maybe they start like Phil 1, and then they start going from there.
Is it? First off, everyone's going to get hacked. Everyone's going to have everything jacked. Everything's going to be broken into. Isn't it just a better life not to have anything at a certain point? We should all just walk around like Kane from Kung Fu, like shoeless, wearing a gi and a flute. What do you own? A flute? Anything else? No. Just this pan flute.
Rolled up.
I got a roll.
Pack. Yeah.
I got a bedroll. You don't want it. It smells like me. What do? I just walk barefoot from town to town.
Snatch a rock
out of my hand, a pebble. play the flute. Just walk around.
Kwai Chang.
I go into Western towns. What's your drink? I was going to say tap water, but taps haven't been invented yet.
Take some shit from the locals.
Just well water. So what do? I just go into a bar, I order water, and then what? I just wait around for a local to call me Chinaman, and then I kick the shit out of him in slow motion, and then I go
with
back
my
feet, and then I just walk to the next town. We should all just be like Kane, right? You know, in an interesting way, Kane and Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious weren't so far apart.
Do tell.
Well, Vin Diesel was very family-oriented, but just kicked the shit out of everyone for 100 minutes, and then they had a barbecue at the end where he talked about how important family was. And Kane never wanted any trouble, but he beat the shit out of everyone in every town he went to. And then he would explain he wants no trouble, and then he would walk to the next town.
Okay.
Did you watch that growing up?
I didn't. I know more about Kung Fu than I do about Vin Diesel.
Oh, okay, good. That's it. That means you're centered. It means you're righteous and you're living your best life.
This means I'm old.
Because if you talk to someone who knows everything about Vin Diesel and has never heard of Kane from Kung Fu, that person is not centered.
No.
All right, so maybe we should just get rid of, like John Lennon told us, like all our possessions, including our shoes, and everyone just buy a recorder, flute, and just walk through the desert, because we're all going to get hacked.
Here's something I think that the hackers probably know, is that if you're roughly my age and you're from Boston, you start to hack me by anything to do with Larry Bird. Mm-hmm. Larry 33.
White guy, semi-racist, Boston, born in the 60s. Yeah, I got it. No, that's smart. What else you got, Gina?
Let's talk about this TikTok challenge, because there's always something. I don't know if you guys have seen this video. I'm sure you have. This video claiming that if you mix balsamic vinegar with any flavored sparkling water, it tastes like Coca-Cola. Have you heard about this?
No, haven't heard it.
Yeah. So people are doing it and they taste it and they're like, that's not half bad. Like someone said, like it tastes like one of those like a generic Coke, something like that.
RC Cola.
Exactly.
Right.
But here's the big problem. The Dental Association, the American Dental Association, is warning that acid...
One of those buzzkills, I'm sorry.
Well, it turns out that the acid from sugar-free beverages and balsamic vinaigrette is so acidic, it will take the enamel off of your teeth. So dummies, stop eating Tide Pods, stop doing the Angel of Death challenge, which, by the way, they're doing in parts unknown, I think in Thailand, jumping in front of semi-trucks to see if the trucks stop in time. That's another TikTok challenge. Stop doing this, or you know what? Maybe we just thin the herd.
And sometimes there's more than one challenge going on at once. Like there was a Thai, I should say, truckers challenge, which is how many of your countrymen can you run over in one night? So what you didn't know is that guy had no plans on hitting the brakes because he's in the midst of his own TikTok challenge. How many Taiwanese can you run over in one evening? So there's some cross-collateralization, they call it in the business world, going on there. Look, how bored and out of problems are we that we just need TikTok challenges? The Tide Pod thing was one that I remember from back in the day. It's kind of a good sign, at least in this country, that we're looking for things to do to amuse ourselves because we don't have famine or animals or hunger or wars to deal with. We're just sitting around thinking of ways to challenge ourselves. But I don't. First off, let's face it. Dentists have a stick up their ass. If they had it their way, we wouldn't eat anything at all.
4 out of 5 of them do.
That's right. Like, I don't think they guess what you ate that day anymore, which they used to do when I was a kid. Like they were like, oh, did someone have an egg salad sandwich? Well, no shit. You have 1 foot and 2 hands in my mouth. I think if anyone is qualified to guess what I ate 15 minutes ago. All right, so don't do it.
These days, I'm a pretty diligent flosser and all that stuff, but there was a time in my life where I thought I was very clever and I could fool the dentist on the morning of the appointment. I just do a power wash and floss.
Right.
They'll never guess.
No, it's true. Like you treated your teeth like a car that you were going to turn back in. Like, I'll just fucking get the pressure washer out and hit it hard.
Yes.
Put a little degreaser foam on the rims and hit it with the pressure washer. I used to do the same thing, too. Like, I haven't been to I've been falling asleep with Abba Zaba bars in my mouth for 4 years. But at 8 a.m., I'm going to hit it hard with a water pick before I go in and see the guy. He's going to give me a big thumbs up. Yeah, this is, I'm going to work out right before I see the trainer.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more, Gina.
All right, well, let's give a little love to this guy with the best, most ironic, most chef's kiss name on the planet. There's a Florida man named Legenius Wisdom Williams, and he's struggling. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Definitely not a Jew.
You'd be correct. The 22-year-old Florida man's ironic name received a lot of attention in the news several years ago because he was convicted with attempted murder. He was released from prison in late 2020. Last week, he was arrested again, this time for domestic battery, felony gun and drug charges. They eventually captured and found him with possessions of loaded firearms, cocaine, and fentanyl. He was booked into Le Jail, thank you, and is being held on $77,000 bond.
That's good.
Legenius Wisdom.
Well, you had to know this was going to be trouble from. Can I say this? In most states, if you would like to do a vanity plate, and your vanity plate is Dutch wide cock, they'd go like, "Sorry, we have certain standards in our community, and you have crossed whatever that line was." You cannot give your kid a retarded name. Can we agree? Like, can we have a vetting board where Legenius, what was his last name?
Wisdom.
Legenius Wisdom.
Right, where you can't do that because it's going to end up like this. And then also, there had to be somebody that right before he shot them went, "Legenius, use your head." Also, the guy was a shit student, right? So the poor fucking teachers had to be like, Legenius, that's a D-. Had to be weird for the teacher.
If he spaces off during a lesson, hello, Legenius.
Legenius. Yes, all right.
Wake up.
Yeah, it never works. And by the way, like, all the real smart guys had normal names like Albert, you know what I mean? Regular Elon, you know what I mean? They weren't like crazy names. There's no guy named Huge Brain McGee. Who cured cancer? Fucking Huge Brain McGee did. You know that guy. It's just a regular name, and then they go out and they do something after that. You know what I mean? You can't put the name in front of the child. The child's gotta earn the name. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
Agreed.
Into the microphone.
Sorry, lad.
Yeah.
This is my first time on stage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Legenius, and then he's gonna be. Now, who do we make his cellmate in prison? Do we give him another?
Whoever came up with the name, put his father in there.
Oh yeah, his dad's probably already in there. I mean, if I know the culture,
put him in there with them.
But do you think if you're working the roster out, like if I'm running a prison and I'm working out, like the seating chart, you know what I mean? Like I went to junior high and stuff. Well, I'm saying, like, you gotta figure out who's selling with who. You can't put a Crip and a Blood in the same cell. You gotta work this shit out in advance, right? So, like, when I was in junior high, they wouldn't put me and my buddy fucking Ray next to each other. Like, Ray, you're on that end. Carolla, you're over there. Let's see how much real estate we get between you two assholes. So,
where would they put Ray?
Oh, in class?
In class. In the hall?
In a cage.
Yeah, they put him they put him on a hand truck like Hannibal Lecter. They just wheel him from class to class, park him in front of the blackboard. Yeah, well, that's what happened. Ray farted in Mr. Bernal's class so loud. With the wooden, remember the wooden contour seat that was attached to the desk on a hot June day, like just lean over. There was no, you can you can fart on cloth with 4 inches of padding and get some absorption. You know, there's some acoustic aid to that. You get that hardwood, contoured desk seat, and Ray hikes a leg up. People in other school districts heard that shit. He farted so loud, and Mr. Bernal was pissed, and everyone was super serious about it, but I was laughing. I was laughing so hard, and he sent Ray out into the hall to go think about farting, you know, like I like when you'd have to think about shit you planned, you know what I mean? Like Ray'd been planning that fart since the 8th grade. Like, you go out that hall, you think about it. Like, okay. I'm gonna take a victory lap out in that hall, but what should I think about? Like, how much retroactive fart thought, Mr. Bernal, would you like me to engage in? Perhaps I should think about the future and other farts that haven't been let yet. But no, you want me to live in the past and think about the farts. What about the farts that haven't been born yet? What about the unborn farts? What about them? Don't they matter? So Ray was sent out in the hall to think about that fart. And then I was laughing so hard that he just moved me. He didn't know where to go because he'd already shot his wad. He already took Ray out into the hall. He couldn't put me out in the hall. Then we'd both just be reminiscing about his fart. So he got me out of my seat and he said, "Move it over there." And I was like, okay, I'm moving 9 feet to my left, away from the fart zone, by the way. I don't know why that's considered punishment.
And think about what Ray did.
You think about Ray
No,
farting.
don't think about what Ray did, because that's what got you here.
You think about you laughing about what came out of Ray's ass 7 minutes ago, all right? You go over there, sit on that very unacoustic hardwood contoured seat attached to the desk, and you think about Ray farting over there. No, you think about Ray laughing. Ray, you better be thinking about what you farted. I don't want you to be thinking about the Dodgers or your best girl. You think about farting. And when you're done, think about farts.
I don't want to think about
I'll
this.
think about bringing you back when you're proven that when I can see in your eyes that you're completely done with fart thoughts. You know what? I'm going to assign you homework tonight, Ray. You go home and think about farting.
This is the news.
All right, that's the news with Gina Grad, everybody. I'd like to start the show with some local thoughts. I know the Avalanche is playing tonight. Fuck you guys, you're not fans. You'd be at the arena or in front of your TV set yelling at your kid to get the fuck out of the room if you're real fans. Let's not confuse you with real fans.